Alright, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm your charming self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today we are jumping back into Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Wait, what is the loot that I left back here? Hold on. It's saying I left something over here. Let's check this out.
My warp site reveals something.
Melt-a-charge. Okay.
I do what I must.
Let's just explode the wall while I'm standing right next to it. That's fine. This. Okay. Pascal picked the lock. Let's see, medkit, fire grenade, cargo. Okay, nice. All right. So I believe if you want to call this a dungeon, we're at the end of it. Pretty sure that in here is a big spooky mother mucker, and we're gonna fight it. Here we go. A formidable looking door blocks the way into the next module. It is covered in scratches as if someone clawed at the cold metal for a very, very long time. The door does not respond to your touch and stands fast, refusing to open. The writing above the doorway reads, Main Computing Cathedral. Restore power. Headhunter Light Carapace. Pretty solid armor. Does anyone else need a set of that? Let me see, hold on. Can he use that? 30, dodge 9%, minus 32, plus 2 to tech use. What does hers do? 30, 45, 15. Alright. That is a flat upgrade for her. And what about you? No. 16. Alright, she can have that. I think that's the best we can do right now. Alright, tap quick save in case I get rocked.
What lies beyond?
Alright, Magos Tiberius Mala. The air in the room is permeated by a wild mixture of miasmas of both mechanical and biological origin. Blood, rust, vomit, machine oil, excrement, kerosene. All these smells blend together into such a thick stench it almost feels palpable. Just as the air here is one mad tangle of odors, the device in front of you is a mishmash of wriggling wires and transplanted fragments. In all the clutter, one could almost miss the main component, a heavily augmented man whose upper body is embedded into the frame of the machine, dozens of wires piercing his flesh. A crust of congealed blood and other bodily fluids covers the man's entire body, but his eyes are open and his gaze keen. This gaze turns to you, devoid of surprise or deference. Who are you, disturbing the peace of holy martyrs in the home of our grief? What do you want? Wow, we don't have good coercion for this. Dogmatic. There is no fate more honorable than purgation through offering in the name of faith, but you are deceived, servant of the Omnissiah. Your torment is not holding back the corruption, it is sustaining it. It is not too late to expel this blight. The man's eyes clear for a moment. They still lack understanding, but there's a hint of surprise. He slowly looks around the room, at the ecstatic priest, at his own mangled body. His vox hisses as if he is struggling to say something. Muck has gained Conviction of Faith. Grants 100% critical hit chance until the next critical hit is scored. Okay. Suddenly, the mingled stench in the room is drowned out by sharp, piercing smell of ozone and grease. You sense that the nauseating atmosphere that prevailed in the room has condensed into a single point of evil in the depths of the ship and is now hurtling toward you. Oh Lord, he coming!
Showing up uninvited.
Oh God, it's right in my face. That's not great. Oh wait, this is the setup phase. Okay, I could still move around a bit. Oh, I can't move the... Dang. Alright. Let's put Muck right there. Alright, Pascal. Isabella. Now we want to kind of be near each other just for the buffs on turn 1. Let's see what we can do. That's why I was trying to warn you. No, I know, Mr. Manuel. Remember, I've played this before. I even said there's a big boss in here. I knew he was going to come from there. I know I could have, like, maybe gotten my people up by the railing and then had one of them started the fight. That was just, that was a little too, you know, min-maxy. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Alright. Let's see here. Backline.
If I may,
Let's do that. Front line.
isn't this a job for the serfs?
Rear.
I'm not accustomed
No
to
HOA
being
mowing
ordered
lawns?
around.
I mean, they just did yard work yesterday, so it'll be a week or two, I think. Let's see. Give Heinrichs a
I am a
turn.
navigator, not a servitor.
If he does that now, it's not going to hit everyone. It'll hit most.
I won't object to it.
Alright, and then put the curse on him,
If you insist,
so he takes more
Lord Captain.
damage.
Don't you need a breathing?
Jeez! My tank hasn't had a turn to taunt him yet.
Setting target parameters for tech familiar units.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you?
Hello, Bertree.
Approved. Running binary override.
Let's see, what was this? Reckless abandon.
An offering of blood. I would that I could. As the tenants demand.
Alright. She does a bit of damage. Heinrichs used his whole turn to just get up. Oh, did the bird die? Oh, dang it. Alright,
Commands are more pleasant.
Medicae signal on that. Reactivate the bird.
Easy. I need you by my side.
Alright. Taunting Scream
A wicked thought.
on the boss. Sworn enemy on the boss.
Schemes. A genius
Endure
at
attacks.
work. Let's see.
Dog tries to hit the big guy but gets parried.
If this is my death, may my blood be a worthy sacrifice.
Alright, Pascal's turn.
Tech familiar activated. Setting target parameters for tech familiar units.
Okay, bird takes out one of those.
The Elder Sire knows all.
Tried to hit that with Machine Spirit Banishment, it didn't work though. Okay, Kibela spends her turn standing up. Okay, let's see, relocate here.
Natural.
Regeneration.
For the throne's
AoE
glory.
heal.
Get me a target.
Okay, her turn.
Tell me, and it is
Heinrich's another turn. Give everyone this armor buff.
Let's see to it. But of course, Lord Captain.
Resolve. Okay, his turn. Have the bird work on that Vox skull. Oh, nice. Instantly healed. Alright, her turn. Okay, Muck uses his turn standing up. Cat Dog hits the Servitor. Okay. Give him an extra turn. Taunt again for what it's worth. Raise your shield.
Lord.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Zap it. 36 damage. Hits the dog. Dog's still alive though. Servitor swings at me. Okay. Put bait on him again.
Blessed creations of the Omnissiah. Tech familiar. Activated.
Kinda. Oh my god, he got to swing twice? I was not expecting that. Okay. Machine Spirit Banishment. Kill the Servitor.
Terminated.
More debuffs on the Forge Fiend.
I will leave footprints
Move
of
there.
scarlet,
Pop cooldowns.
as honor ordains.
Spin. That did a bit of damage. Alright, end your turn. Let's see. Like to reactivate the dog if we can get close enough to
Finding a
do so.
foothold.
What is the range on this?
I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
There we go.
I won't object to it.
Alright. Muck is way back there. Hey there, hey Muck. Hello there. Hey, Hanny Kenobi, what's up? Almost 2 hours till they release the next Elite spec. That's what it seems like, yeah, I would imagine so. Muck can probably solo this guy, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, it looks like 2 or 3 clean hits before the regen can work, can take him out, so it's definitely a risk. Let's see, 19 to 28 if I just shoot it. Hold on, what is the difference between these two? 50% range, 50% hit chance. It says plus 10% hit chance, so they're both 72. Alright, let's give Pascal another turn.
I've got a prize.
And he used, let's see.
Request approved.
Oh, that was an 80% chance. Alright, her turn.
If I may,
Zap.
I'm not accustomed
Zap.
to being ordered around.
Her turn. Oh, it looks like that could pierce through and hit the dog. That's not what we want. Okay.
This battlefield air is good for my lungs.
Still? Alright, never mind.
Through the smoke and gunfire.
Why does he have a free shield bash? I don't know. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes I get a free shield bash. I haven't figured out why.
I am a navigator. Another foe.
Got it.
painted black.
Nice. Magos Siberius Mala. The man's mutilated body is racked by wave after wave of convulsions. Evil. That was evil incarnate. The evil, the corruption that watches us day and night. Suddenly the man raises his head and looks you straight in the eye. You have banished the evil. You tried to warn me, but I was deaf. The ship, Kiava Gamma, it followed us from there. Kiava Gamma, is that where your ship is from? Yes, the man whispers. The ship and the planet. The traitors among our brethren, tormenting the sacred mechanisms, letting corruption into their systems. They turned that which is holy into the unholy. And they set these new twisted machines on us, their tech comrades. We managed to flee, but one of the monsters found its way onto the ship. A tear appears at the corner of his eye. He thrashes frantically in the mess of wires piercing his body. We fought. We cut off one module after another as one cuts away rotting flesh, but it followed. Its invisible influence, the corruption it exuded, it claimed us one by one. The crew were merely humans of flesh and blood. They were so weak. They succumbed so easily. We could not save them from evil, so we gave the ship to the darkness among the stars. But the darkness came for us too, in this last module where we intended to make our last stand. Then I sacrificed myself. I became a filter, a stopper against the corruption emanating from the machine. I succumbed. The corruption came for our souls. The corruption of Kiava Gamma. Traitors. With the last of his efforts, he rasps. The fabricator censor. It all started with him. He was the one who let this taint into the sacred code. He was the one who doomed our brethren. He was the one who spawned the steel monstrosities in the furnace of our planet. Rest in peace, you will be avenged. I was a part of the great force that drives the universe. I do not fear the cold of death. A wheezing breath escapes the man's chest, then his eyes close. Okay. Cassia once again MVP. She finished it off, but we were doing okay either way, I think. Let's see. Collect those. There's a box of goods by the main man. Diagnoster grants 15 Medicae. Dimensional Traveler Cloak. The wearer of this cloak gains a psychic power, which allows them to sacrifice wounds to immediately teleport to any cell in a 4-cell radius. And I think she's my highest Medicae. She's got 60. So now she's got 75. Okay. Heretical Votary. Ooh, do I have anyone that can use that? Maybe Adira? And no one here can use that cave. See, lore work.
And done.
The empty shell of a daemon engine. It was this creation, a horrifying mix of real space technologies and the deranged powers of the warp, that disrupted the ship systems and twisted the tech priest's minds. Of course, Goth Girlfriend has highest Medicae. Of course. Alright.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Back to the ship, which will heal our injuries. Let's see, already explored, not explored. Scan it. It's beautiful. There are art. Okay, muck me then. There are ardent views in the void, the like of which I could have never imagined. A single vivid world bleeding flames, yet so much substance for my thoughts. Objects discovered. Plasma batteries. Do you want to set up an extractium producing provisions? Sure. Smuggler's cache. Sure. Alright, cool. I think that's everything in this system. Okay. Let's go back to the fast travel screen, between the warp jumps. Alright, let's see. Sato's Tome? Alright, chart new routes. Ooh. Restore shipments from there. That's Janus. Navigator's Insight is a special resource acquired by exploring the Expanse, by scanning new systems, anomalies, or participating in non-combat space events. The Navigator, the flagship, uses it to build new warp routes, as well as make them more stable and safe as much as possible. So there we go. We just made that one a bit safer. Okay. Alright, so there's the quest for Janus, so that must be where Janus is. Let's look at Sato's Tome. Voxmaster. Oh, hang on a sec. Let me shrink the little dude a little bit so that you guys can see the portraits better. Voxmaster. Permission to report, Lord Captain. I'm receiving messages about strange behaviors in certain ship systems. All decks report the uncontrollable opening and closing of doors, gates, and airlocks. They behave erratically and do not obey the operator's commands. Regrettably, this has led to casualties among the crew. The tech priests have explained that these phenomena are being caused by the machine spirit's irascibility and have spent hours chanting litanies to soothe their anger. Unfortunately, many crew members were badly injured before the prayers could stabilize the systems. When the Lord Captain arrived on the bridge during the warp jump, he found the on-duty officers in a state of utter confusion. They claimed they had been receiving orders from the bridge for several minutes, orders authorized by the rogue trader, but the Lord Captain had been absent. Curiously, the orders had been signed by the late Theodora von Valancius. After a thorough investigation, the tech priests attributed the strange incident to the whims of the machine spirits. The ship left the hostile immaterium and returned to real space. Alright. One planet in this system, an ice world. Oh wait, have I already been here? Oh, okay. Well. Alright. Done and done. Let's see. So... Alright, back here. Lord Captain, I hasten to report disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you'll allow, I have prepared a detailed report. Deliver your report. The first incident occurred immediately after our departure from Urak 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions, and the void ship was thrown off course for a matter of minutes, but this was enough for the forces of the Immaterium to anger the machine spirits enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions. Hysteria, apathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay on Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I have failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. Alas, with no details. If you like, you can ask Master Worsarian directly. Things are even worse with Jay Hadari. I intercepted a Voxcast, which she promised she would, and I quote, end that Kashka if she ever saw her again. If I may, Lord Captain, the Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mesh with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on equal footing and improve the situation, for the sake of the crew's safety and that of Lady Cassia herself. There was commotion on the lower decks. The chief mutant hunter, who is responsible for eliminating heresy in the hold of the Void ship, went mad due to the perilous influence of the warp. The officer climbed the parapet above the central accelerator complex and threatened to jump unless the entire crew immediately submitted to a rigorous examination to uncover physical deformities and unholy perversions. After calculating the time and financial cost of the inspection of thousands upon thousands of crew members and consulting tech priests about the danger of the foreign materials getting into the intake of the accelerator complex, the deranged mutant hunter was graciously allowed to proceed with ending his life in the desired manner. They're like, man, that'd be too expensive. Go ahead. Do a flip. The Immaterium released us from its crypt this time. Wow. Wow. Let's see. Trinitos. Let's do that. Warp travel. Lord Captain, permission to address you with a request. Our head chirurgeon is sabotaging the ship's operations. I think a chirurgeon is like a medical person. He has quarantined several Voidsman crews on account of a piddling sickness. People don't even go to the medbay when they come down with it. They just wipe their noses and keep working. Only a dozen or so die from it the whole year. We're sitting on our hands here, so I ask you to talk some sense into him. Your Vox clicks and you hear a dry, nonchalant response. Greetings, your lordship. My name is Letard Forius, and I am the chirurgeon majoris of this vessel. As your chief medicae specialist, I assure you that the quarantine is well warranted. This piddling sickness has claimed the lives of a number of meritorious officers in the past. This time I intend to get the epidemic under control, study the disease thoroughly, and develop a proper cure. I hope you will agree that a single period of downtime is a small price to pay for the number of lives that will be saved and the increase in the crew's performance during other such outbreaks in the future. Not to mention the fact that we won't have to waste stimulants due to the afflicted using them as a crutch to offset limited work capacity. How do you intend to study this disease? By gathering enough infected individuals together, letting the illness progress, comprehending its properties, and finally killing it. The disease goes through several stages, with which containing clues to its nature and vulnerabilities. The Voidsman will have to stay sick for some time until I discover the cure, assuming of course that the disease is reversible in its final stages. That sounds sus. He's saying that to cure the sickness, he has to get the people that are sick together and let them get as sick as possible? And gather them all in one place. That sounds a bit nurgly. Dogmatic. The Voidsmen are to be treated and put back to work. If you want test subjects, tell the Master-at-Arms to provide you with the required number of convicts and other riffraff. This may limit the potential of the study, but this approach is also acceptable. I will make up for the lack of materials with my expertise. Thank you for taking your crew's health into consideration. +3 dogmatic. Should you require my services, you may find me on the bridge, your lordship. Voxmaster. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void ship arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, so one of the families called for rebellion against the usurper of the Void ship. That is, you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan or pacify the entire Void ship crew. The decision is yours. What's the story about Lady Theodora? Rumors of Lady Theodora's presence on the Void ship have been circulating for a long time, and appear to be a deliberate provocation rather than ordinary drunken rambling. Perhaps someone is intentionally stirring up the masses to rebel against you, or perhaps it is the influence of the warp. Enforcers are already investigating, but right now we need to stop the conflict from escalating any further. As long as the unrest continues, the Void ship's shields will not be operating at full capacity. Find the source of the rumors and punish those responsible. I don't want unnecessary deaths. Lord Captain, as Seneschal Orsarian would say, there are no innocents in such cases. The clans are endangering the entire void ship, tussling over a strange and obviously false rumor.